back to another one of our Clouse's summer vacation videos. I was just pointing out that it drives me nuts that that poster is behind the bookshelf. So today we're actually working on decorating Dustin Broke's room, kind of according to how I see him and kind of my personal canon. Now, one of the things that I've always thought was unusual, and let's face it, we've all thought was unusual about the Broke household, is how they have certain items that just don't seem to mesh with, like, they live in a trailer, but they've got some pretty pricey items, you know, the arcade machine, like a flamingo lamp, Brandy's room. And one thing that I've always thought was kind of like a funny idea is that Brandy enters in a lot of, like, those random contests where you guess the amount of pennies in a jar, or you write a jingle. I know especially in the 50s that was very common. Like, there were some housewives that made a living at just winning these contests and getting these, like, unusual prizes that you really couldn't do much with. You could often sell them, but sometimes you couldn't, so you just kind of had this weird stuff in your house, or like a year's supply of flour, just like odd things. And so I really like the idea that Brandy just wins these contests, and so that's where they get a lot of this kind of odd stuff, not necessarily because they're buying it. Now, I very quickly changed the carpet and the walls in his room just because most trailers, manufactured homes, they're gonna be fairly consistent. Same carpet, same walls. Like, I don't think Brandy and Skip ever really had the money to customize, and it just seemed odd that the walls were painted dark purple. I mean, I have a dark purple office, but I'm a strange adult human that wants that. You don't see many dark purple nurseries, and especially if they moved in here before Dustin was born, it didn't fit. So I just went with white with the tan carpet. If I was redoing the whole place, like, I would really neutralize most of the colors within. I did give him just the mattresses on the floor. I'm sure he had a bed a crib and everything when he was a baby, but as you get older, money was so tight, he probably just had box spring on the floor. Which, funny story, I did too, so totally sympathize with that aspect of life. So, my take on kind of Dustin is, I mean, obviously the main Skip Broke thing. I think that Skip was honestly probably killed by Gordon and, like, the gang, maybe for taking more than his fair cut of earnings, that kind of thing. Like, because Dustin didn't really like Gordon, and then now they're friends. So I feel like maybe he saw that happen, and Gordon was able to convince him, hey, you know, your dad was kind of a bad guy, he was gonna leave you guys, he was hiding all this money away to escape. Sorry if you can hear the dog chewing a bone in the background, by the way. But yeah, like, he was gonna leave you guys, and, you know, we had no choice, he was a bad person, we had to do this. And now Gordon's kind of almost a father figure to Dustin. I don't think Dustin is dumb. I don't think he's smart either. I think he does have, like, himbo energy, but, like, at the same time, like, I think he has his moments of genius. Like, I just think he's just a little bit of a space cadet. Maybe he's a little ADHD, who knows. He's not book smart in most subjects. I think he probably has some issues there that he just never got help with. Maybe studying is really hard for him, maybe focus, hard to say, but he's an interesting one for sure. I think he definitely is in the criminal career path because of Skip. I don't think that was necessarily, like, something that he sought out on his own. I really don't think that he's, like, rebelling either, because you don't really see him trying to rebel. Like, everything that he does and the way that he tends to act as a Sim whenever I played him is, like, he's always trying to take care of his family. He's trying to cook meals. He's trying to take care of Bo. He's always really good about that, so I think if anything he would have taken the job because it paid the most money, kind of thing, like, not because he's a teen rebel. What else we got here? I think that dating Angela just kind of happened, and he isn't really sure how it happened. Like, they have some interests in common, he guesses, sort of thing, like, tags along with her. They've known each other since they were kids. She likes the bowl, so he probably will go bowling with her. And I definitely think since she plays D&D, he'll probably play it too, because, I mean, that's what my girlfriend does. I guess I'm supposed to do it too. And I think there's a lot of, it's very easy to make Angela happy, because she just says, hey, can you do this? And he does it, and she's thrilled to death that someone just did something without arguing with her or disagreeing with her or just making it difficult. He just would do it. And for him, like, she's the only person that probably listens to him and just is happy. She's nice to him, and she doesn't think that he's dumb either. I think it's very interesting that they haven't kissed yet. I have a lot of opinions about that. I get strong lesbian vibes from Angela, and I also get possible something up with Dustin. I'm not really sure. It varies through playthroughs, but I definitely don't think that they do, like, boyfriend-girlfriend type of things, and I think they're fine with that. Like, it's not necessarily a show, like, they enjoy each other's company, but they're not necessarily, like, we're so in love, we're gonna go make out in the closet all the time sort of couple. I think he definitely is really into music. You know, likes arcade games as well. He also, I think, reads a lot more than people would expect. That's why, you know, he did originally have a bookshelf in his bedroom. He's the only sim in this household that had, like, specifically something like that. It looks like he even built the bookshelf himself, which to me lends the idea that he wanted a space to have his books. He places value on those items enough to try to put them in a nice place, even if he didn't necessarily have, like, the money to make, you know, go buy a bookshelf kind of thing. I also think that he really strikes me as someone who wants to leave Pleasant View, like, not in, like, a dreamer, I want to go to Hollywood, just like he wants to travel. He really gives me, I want to travel energy. So I tried to get different posters and things of, like, the Grand Canyon or things like that. Like, I didn't put as many as I wanted, but I got enough to get the point across. I know in Sims 4 he's got, like, headphones on, and so I think currently, like, he has some interest in maybe being a DJ kind of thing. That's why he's got the giant boombox. I give him, like, a sound mixing board, things like that. But he actually, his lifetime want, pretty much every time I've opened the game the past few times, I don't know if this is consistent across the board, but is to become a secret agent, which I think really appeals to him, is, like, being the good guy sort of deal. Like, I think James Bond is definitely his hero. And so I was just trying to find different things, but I also wanted to make sure we were not ignoring his current career, because he is a criminal. So I was just grabbing certain things. I wasn't being too particular. I did download some items that didn't show up, which was annoying, but I might have just, I unzipped them really fast and threw them in the game, so who knows. I'm glad I was able to give him a smaller arcade game, because it's a very small room. This video is actually a lot shorter than Angela and Lilith's, just by virtue of he has a very tiny room. I thought about trying to give him a closet, because he should have one, but I just didn't want to eat up any more floor space with something that's not really going to tell us more about him anyways, so why bother? But at the same time, because I didn't give him a closet, I was able to really lean into the he's a sloppy kind of mess thing, so his room is incredibly messy. Like, I gave him the dirty table and the dirty laptop, but, like, I go ham on the floor. It's bad. Also, this is random, but I've always thought of the whole Bo Broke being in the hallway thing is not necessarily, like, them putting him in the hallway because of lack of space. Toddlers are not logical creatures, and so I think he's just one of those kids that, like, for whatever reason, like, that's where he wanted to be, and that was the only place they could get him to sleep, and so they're like, forget it, we're just gonna put the crib in the hallway. This is where the baby sleeps. I haven't slept in 3 days. This is where he sleeps now. And it just kind of happened, but I do put a lot of his toys in Dustin's room to show that he is in there a lot, and Dustin didn't, like, kick him out, like, refusing to share a room. It's just, that is not where Bo wanted to sleep. I do cut quite a bit of the video out, just at a certain point, because you can only watch me do this so much. Also, sorry, I'm losing my voice here. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this one because I had some ideas going in. It didn't turn out quite how I was expecting. There was some CC that I really couldn't find. I was hoping to find some conversions of like the bag of money from The Sims 4 and like the stolen ATM machine. I really wanted to find that and I just couldn't. Just irritating. And also like I was hoping to find homework that like had a bad grade on it, but I just couldn't. Like for Angela I found, you know, A+ kind of thing, but there's no real CC that shows like a bad grade on it. And I was like, well, that's irritating. Because I think he does get bad grades in school, but again, I don't think he's necessarily dumb. I think that he struggles, maybe he just doesn't have time to focus. Because that happens too, especially when the oldest child becomes a caretaker for the younger kids and their parent is struggling. Like, they just don't have time to be a student. They're too busy being a parent. And so I really think that's why grades are a problem for him, not because he's necessarily dumb, but at the same time, himbo energy all the way. And I do think Dustin is like a nice Sim. I can't remember what his stats were, but like he strikes me as someone who's probably nice. Maybe he acts tough sometimes, but I realized I had a Ferris wheel and I had no idea when I downloaded that. I don't know if you can guess what some of these piles are meant to represent, but yeah, I had some ideas and I'm like, okay, I want to grab a couple things for each of these ideas and then we'll see what fits in the room. I like the idea that he has some vision issues as well, so I wanted to make sure I had the glasses. That little gnome in the jail cell, I had to include it. It was so funny. I'm sad that I couldn't include that little round coffee table thing. I wanted to because he had one in his original room. It was the folding one, but I couldn't get it to work. He is so... It's such a tight space, and I wanted him to have a computer and like a desk. And I liked that bigger table because there was more space on it, but also it was dirty, it was a little stained, like it just made more sense. So I was just like, I'm gonna sacrifice the coffee table. Those are actually little lottery ticket machines. I'm sure you can imagine why I was thinking I would try to squeeze those in a room. I wish I had some recolors of like pieces of paper though that looked like lottery tickets to go with those. Like scratchers, especially some that looked like they were partially scratched. That would be super cool. I tried to find some, but again, it's really hard, especially with Sims 2, because so much CC has broken links now, or it's just completely gone. And very clearly I was not... There's no budget for any of these. These are just strictly me decorating for... It's self-indulgent. It's self-indulgent all the way. The shadows on that bed too, like you'll see it every now and then, like they're super weird. I did want to give like nods to what the original room's colors were, because like the walls were dark purple and then the floors were like that blue, so like the purple blinds, and like the arcade game that I chose is Sharks, like the original one, but it's also like a tealy color. Yeah, here I go. I started going ham on the floor. Everything I could find. Not the art one, but like everything else I could possibly find to throw on that floor. The folding chair as well, I think, is funny. Because I was going to give him a desk chair, and I'm like, you know, I really don't think he would have one. Like, not necessarily because I think Brandy's like that bad of a parent. I just think even if she would like say, okay, well, let's go to the store and get you a chair, like I think that he would redirect it in, well, Bo really needs this, or Mom, you know, you really need some maternity pants, or just like he would turn it into something that the family needed because he's just that way, rather than what he would feel is like selfishness of, oh, you know, buy me a chair. That boombox is gigantic, but it was so perfect, like, because that was one thing that I did want to make sure that I conveyed, is like he really is into music. And there is a reason for the gap behind the boombox. So yeah, this is me kind of, I'm gonna start putting things in. I still keep forgetting to put more OMSPs in this particular downloads file. And yeah, I'm just tossing everything on the ground. I managed to put the headphones in though. I did remember those. It's not the pair that I originally downloaded. I still can't get those to work. I don't know why. They came in a bunch of colors. I think there's a mesh missing. It says there's a mesh there, but I don't know, it's broken. And I don't want to fidget with it that much, so. But this set worked. Yeah, I really, he's sloppy. He's worse than the twins. So I was just like, alright, you want to be sloppy? I got you. I got you, Dustin. Like all the pens and just everything. I really like how his room turned out. It's pretty basic, but I feel like it does encapsulate what I wanted to show. I was gonna delete those, and I'm like, well, it could be mail for other things. So I was like, well, bills. Why would he have bills? Oh god, and then I couldn't reach the stupid crumpled paper. I was like, ah. I do like this mesh. I used to have one that was much smaller, but I feel like you couldn't even see really what it was. That shows, you know, this is a crumpled piece of paper. So I like that one a lot better. I had a lot of really big ticket items over there. I'm sure you can guess what I was about, but we'll pretend that I'm being clever at this point. Okay, here I'm just going through the toy pile. I wanted to, like I said, I wanted there to be a spot for Bo in this room to show that he was very welcome to come and play anytime he wanted to. Like, it was just more he didn't want to sleep in this room, which, honestly, I don't know if I would want to sleep in this room either. But yeah, I wanted to make sure there was like some textbooks and things like that. Just really, really lean into the messiness. Initially I thought I might have him like play the guitar or something like that, but it just didn't really fit with everything else I was going. Like, in terms of music, I think he's more into like DJing, like music mixing, like on the soundboard kind of thing, not necessarily playing an instrument. That just fit a lot better. And then like I give him a basketball. Like, I don't think like he's super into basketball necessarily. It's just one of those things that like a lot of kids tend to have. Things that's like, it's not part of their identity, but like they'll get a basketball for Christmas kind of thing. Yeah, his floor is just covered. I love it. I love it. I'm so happy with it. This is exactly what I wanted. And it's a pretty good mix too. Like, it's clothes, it's books, there's toys, CDs, just little bits of stuff. And then his desk, I've got like that little soundboard thing there. I've got those walkie-talkies, which I figure would be good for criminal things. I do a lot of work from above at this part of the decorating process. That bed has the weirdest shadows, I swear. I don't know what's going on. I wanted to have the spray paint cans as well, just because he does get into mischief. I don't think he's a bad kid, I think he's just an impulsive one. I like that little armadillo too. I wanted to give nods to Strangetown just because I feel like a lot of Secret Agent stuff is there. Yeah, we're pretty much almost done. The only part I haven't really decorated is behind the boombox, which we're gonna see the room now, but behind the boombox is like all of his stolen things. I figure he's a pickpocket. And here's the final room. So you can see a lot of stuff everywhere. There is some D&D stuff on the bed. I figure, like I said, he probably plays because Angela does. There's like a seashell on his desk. Maybe she gave it to him. I've got the posters on the wall for like the Grand Canyon. There's also some like girls on the wall. There's a Secret Agent type of poster, stickers. There's some stolen, so like a phone, wallets, gnomes, because Sims steal gnomes all the time. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you guys enjoyed that video, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.